Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. Before we jump into the price action, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Okay, so before we do jump into the subwave counting within this area here, I want to just discuss a few things. We obviously previously we've talked about the fact that this could still be within a fourth wave as an A, B, and a C, and that could then lead us to actually having a sell off one more time in a bigger 5 wave move, looking to take this low of this 15,476. So we need to bear that in mind while we're having this move to the downside. For as long as we hold this key support range here, this 20,757 to this 17,104, basically we can look for that potential that we could actually still see some continuation up where this becomes an A B, and a C, or alternatively a 1 2 3 to the upside. So just need to bear in mind that for as long as this hold, that we could still see that move playing out. The way this move is starting to extend down here, though, it is not looking very promising. But for the most part, we've only just come back and retest this channel that we broke out of. But yeah, we need to just keep an eye on it. If we start to lose this 17,104 area, basically it becomes less likely that we are going to see that continuation to the upside here. And that could lead us into that continuation to the downside and continuation of the bear market. Okay, so there's a few things as well. I've been playing around with the idea that potentially this fifth wave could actually end into this high here. And if I come in here a little bit closer, we could argue that within this subwave structure here, we could have something rather like this. This is a 1, 2, 3, flat 4, 4, and then we could have a fifth wave into this high, and then basically a 1, 2, flat for a 4, and then have a fifth into this high. So I'm playing around with this a little bit. Potentially it changes the count, because if we just complete into this high here, then effectively what we have is this is a wave or wave one to the downside, and then we have to count this from this point. However, if we count it from this point, we can get to a different area. It basically takes us to a different count if that is the case. So that's what I'm just currently keeping an eye on here. We potentially are going to look at both of them, so make sure you stay tuned to see all the options. So the way that I'm currently looking at it, well, this is the way that we would look at it if it's into this high point here. And I've been looking at this structure and looking at this as just basically a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into this low. Then potentially looking at this as a wave 2 to the upside. So now with this next structure here, it's not the greatest way of looking at it, but potentially what we could have here is a truncation into here. If I come into the smaller time frames, let me zoom in here a little bit more. What I'm looking for here is the possibility that we've got this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then within here we have a diagonal to complete. It's not great. You can argue that it's potentially better to count it into there, and then this is a flat as a wave 2. That is also a viable option, or this could become a bigger wave 2 here, where this becomes a flat for wave 2, a B, and then basically a C wave to the to the upside here. But it would actually be more of a WXY if that was the case, and then looking for this to be potentially a 1, 2 into here. So if that is the case, what I would then be looking for is the potential that we have this move as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this low point here. And then basically what we're looking for is for this fourth wave to play out here to the upside. So this fourth wave area that we'd be looking for would be this 20,884 to this 19,900 area. And within this, what we'd be looking for is a nice 3-wave structure, looking to actually come up into this zone. If we do move above this 50%, it becomes less likely that this is the case, though invalidation is only up at this 21,840. So with this move, we'd be looking for a fourth and a fifth down here, and then potentially looking for some continuation here and some additional fourths and fifths. So this is why I say, it's important if we are looking at this move, we need to break back through this top trend line here. Otherwise, we could just continue to bounce off of this in fourth waves and continue to the downside and have this move actually extend out. So what I'm looking for is if this is actually a fourth wave here, we want to find a rejection potentially in this previous fourth wave zone here, which would be this 382, this 20,464. We have actually come up once here. So it is possible, you see one more little push to the upside and coming into that area. Any kind of a move out of this channel would make this less likely, as well as moving up past this 1 to 1 of this wave one at this 21,840. This move would call for some additional fourths and fifths here, looking at these potential target zones. So once we come down here, potentially this fourth wave would then look to target out potentially this channel line here, or alternatively this fourth wave area again of this 20,464, and then look for that continuation down. Obviously, these when we're extending, sometimes these fourths won't move as high, so we might get something like this rather, where it actually just comes back, tests this 50%, breaks down for this one, then this one might come back and test the channel in line with this sort of area and then break down. This could look to take us as deep as this 18,429 to this 18,000 region. Any kind of a move above this wave 2 here, which would be at the 22,500, would invalidate this potential of extension down here. And then we would have to be looking at potentially the corrective structure, which we're going to go over in a second. So that's the important thing here. This count would call for another 5 waves moves after breaking down past the 1930, 373 to this 19,089. So we need to just watch this. If we do fail to break back above, directly above us, it's just at 25,500, which should actually be a retest of this bottom. Basically, we could continue to see rejection off of some of these key zones here. This sits within that fourth wave area as well. This 20,464, which would be that 0.382, would be a retest of these lows. So we could see this continuation down here and then look for this move into this area here. The thing is, if we are going to count this as a 5-wave structure here, what we need to be careful is that this could then become either a wave 1 and a wave 2, or alternatively an A, a B, and then we push down one more time for a C wave. So keep an eye on this zone, this 20,905 to this 22,218 area. If we do move back up into this area, that could potentially give us a rejection, and we look for that sell-off back to the downside. So basically, the corrective way that we were looking at this yesterday was I was looking at this potentially as a as an A into here, B, and then we're looking for an ABC down, where this would be where we're looking for this as a potentially an A, B, and then a C, so a WXY effectively. But I've been looking at the subwave structure, and I'm starting to think that it might be neater if we look at this. If we're trying to look for this as a corrective structure, looking at this as an A or WXY into this low, you could argue that this is a WX here, and then this is a Y into this point, and then we have a triangle here. So there's a couple of ways, like I said, of looking at this move. Potentially, you can count a triangle as an A, B, C, D, E in here. And then basically that would then be a connector wave here. And if that is the case, either this would have to be a B wave or a wave 4, or potentially an X wave if you want to be technical. But what I would then be looking for here would be this potential that we're having these extensions playing out to the downside here, which could still lead to one more low here. And what we'd be looking for is potentially this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this low. And then we'd be looking for this additional fourth wave here to the upside, potentially into that same zone that we're talking about, that 20,530 to this 20,842. We have come into this area, so potentially we could look to just sell off from here. But, it is also possible we could see another push up into these ranges and test this previous fourth wave here before looking down towards this 19,299 to this 1980. 18,891 rather, and that would be where we'd be looking for that potential to come in for support. So really, like I said before, until we actually start to take some of these key zones like this high point of this B wave here, potentially we could actually continue to see extension down here. It is possible that this could also be an ABC into this, and then we'd look to move up, find a rejection in this zone, and still move down one more time. So this is going to be a key rejection area if we do move up here, this 23,904 to this 22,217. A move up into this in a three-wave move would give us that idea that we're actually going to potentially continue to the downside. So it's going to be quite important. Obviously, these moves can still be extending, so we're going to discuss that. Um, but the thing is, what we could also argue is within here we have one, two, three. This is a fourth as a triangle, and then we've actually had an extended fifth wave. Because it actually reaches that 1.618 of this move here. So, there's a couple of ways of looking at this. We need to see a decent move to the upside, and we need to see it break above some of these fourth wave rejection areas, and then we can look for that potential to actually start to move up until we actually do. And like I said, until we actually break through this descending trend line here, potentially we could just set up for additional fourths and fifths and just continue this move to the downside where, this would then become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had another fourth here and then another fifth, and then it starts to push down deeper. So that is basically what we are looking at within this version here. So this is very busy, and I do apologize, but basically I'm going to turn off the extension, and this would be looking for that potential that either we completed our wave 3 into here, or alternatively, this green wave 3 here could actually still be in play, and we need to move it down. So this is what I'm sort of saying. We need to be careful because there is the potential to count this move like this, where we could actually see extension within these waves where we have a 1 2 1 2 1 2 in here, and then potentially even another 1 2 in here, or like I said, a 1 2 3 4 5 as an extended fifth wave to the downside here, and then potentially we're looking for another fourth and a fifth, and then we'd look for another fourth and a fifth. So I've drawn, obviously these target areas are based off of fibs, but if this is an extending wave, sometimes these fourth waves will not move as high as that 0.236. And what we could rather do is start to form something like this where potentially we come up into the channel, we break down for a fifth, we come up into the channel, we break down for another fifth, break down for a fifth, and then that actually looks to bring us down deeper. So based off of this area, basically what we've been looking at is potentially moving down towards this zone of this 18,545 to this 18,056 as a potential zone if we do continue down. This is obviously just based off of fibs. We'll have to wait for the actual wave structure to confirm this, but that's what I'm saying. This descending trend line here, for as long as that is still in play, potentially we could just see these fourths and fifths form and actually look to push this price deeper. So we need to be careful if we do continue to break down, that we don't start to break down past this 17,104, because if we do, it becomes less likely that we are going to see that potential continuation to the upside. Any kind of a move to the upside, we would have to move back above this high point here of this 25,000, what was it, 25,250. And, until we actually break this, we could still see, like I said, even if we do get these further extensions down here, and these waves extend out, we could still see this come up as a B wave and look for that continuation down. So we'll try to keep you up to date. Obviously, once we get a bit more structure here to work off of, the key way of basically identifying this as to which one of these counts will be going on is to match up the potential ones and twos with the fourth wave. So these second wave twos, we want to match them with the corresponding fourth waves as they develop. And until they do, we could just quite easily still be within a bigger third wave down here, which could look to push down deeper. So we need to just bear that in mind, that until we actually start to see some confirmation and some breaks above these fourth wave rejection areas, this 21,660, and breaking back above these support zones that we lost, potentially, we could just move into these and then actually look to break down even deeper. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, you will find affiliate links for Prime XBT and BYBIT in there. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out if you don't have an account. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care out there.